The Broken Pot. There lived in a certain place a Brahman whose name was Svabhava Kripanya, which means a born miser. He had collected a quantity of rice by begging, and after having dined off it, he filled a pot with what was left over. He hung the pot on a peg on the wall, placed his couch beneath, and looking intently at it all night, he thought, "Ah, that pot is indeed brimful of rice. Now, if there should be a famine, I should certainly make 100 rupees by it. With this, I shall buy a couple of goats. They will have young ones every 6 months, and thus I shall have a whole herd of goats. Then with the goats, I shall buy cows. As soon as they have calved, I shall sell the calves. Then with the calves, I shall buy buffaloes. With the buffaloes, mares. When the mares have foaled, I shall have plenty of horses, and when I sell them, plenty of gold. With that gold, I shall get a house with 4 wings, and then a Brahman will come to my house and will give me his beautiful daughter with a large dowry. She will have a son, and I shall call him Soma Sarman. When he is old enough to be danced on his father's knee, I shall sit with a book at the back of the stable, and while I am reading, the boy will see me, jump from his mother's lap and run towards me to be danced on my knee. He will come too near the horse's hoof, and full of anger, I shall call to my wife, "Take the baby, take him." But she, distracted by some domestic work, does not hear me. Then I get up and give her such a kick with my foot. While he thought this, he gave a kick with his foot and broke the pot. All the rice fell over him and made him quite white. Therefore I say, he who makes foolish plans for the future will be white all over, like the father of Soma Sarman. The Lion and the Crane. The Bodhisattva was at one time born in the region of Himavanta as a white crane. Now, Brahmadatta was at that time reigning in Benares. Now it chanced that as a lion was eating meat, a bone stuck in his throat. The throat became swollen. He could not take food. His suffering was terrible. The crane, seeing him, as he was perched on a tree looking for food, asked, "What ails thee, friend?" He told him why. "I could free thee from that bone, friend, but dare not enter thy mouth for fear thou mightest eat me." "Don't be afraid, friend. I'll not eat thee. Only save my life." "Very well," says he, and caused him to lie down on his left side. But thinking to himself, "Who knows what this fellow will do?" he placed a small stick upright between his 2 jaws that he could not close his mouth, and inserting his head inside his mouth, stuck one end of the bone with his beak. Whereupon the bone dropped and fell out. As soon as he had caused the bone to fall, he got out of the lion's mouth, striking the stick with his beak so that it fell out and then settled on a branch. The lion gets well, and one day was eating a buffalo he had killed. The crane, thinking, "I will sound him," settled on a branch just over him, and in conversation spoke this first verse. "A service have we done thee, to the best of our ability. King of the beasts, your majesty, what return shall we get from thee?" In reply, the lion spoke the second verse. "As I feed on blood, and always hunt for prey, 'tis much that thou art still alive, having once been between my teeth." Then in reply the crane said 2 other verses. "Ungrateful, doing no good, not doing as he would be done by. In him there is no gratitude. To serve him is useless. His friendship is not won by the clearest good deed. Better softly withdraw from him, neither envying nor abusing." And having thus spoken, the crane flew away. And when the great teacher Gautama the Buddha told this tale, he used to add, "Now at that time the lion was Devadatta the traitor, but the white crane was I myself."